just gonna do this video because I feel like God keeps telling me to do a video. So I'm gonna do a video. But I have no clue where this is gonna go. So I'm asking that you just kinda ride with me on this one, okay? All right. So I have been really focused on my mental and my emotion and mind, body, and spirit, right? Like, seriously, so seriously about it. Even though your girl's still struggling with it. But if I go back to a year ago, especially like a year and a half, 2 years ago, way, such a better place. But, so yeah, so now, and it's crazy. I actually remember making a video about not believing in the Bible and all these negative things. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to trigger God. We worked on that, okay? We've healed and grown from that, so I don't want to go there. But I've been on a journey of not only just a journey of self, but a journey of growing with God. Like, I really am just trying to build a relationship with God because I don't want to know about God. I want to know God. Like, I didn't grow up in a church. I know a lot of people who did grow up in a church. I've been to church, obviously. Like, I've went to church a lot of times when I was a child. But I didn't grow up in the church. Like, so I never had that foundation of God. Like, I've never had that. I'm gonna always revert back to that because that's what I know and that's just in me because of like my childhood, like my upbringing. However, I've always felt the presence of God. Like, I could tell you different situations from when I was a child, like especially when my dad passed away. I could tell you like literal dreams, right, that I had of God. And then now that I'm actually reading the Bible, because I never knew the Bible until recently, I'm coming across things like, oh my God, like I've encountered the same exact situation as far as like God talking to people through dreams. But I was a child, I was like 9 years old. But that is a dream that I remember like vividly, like detail for detail, like it literally happened last night. And you know how like after time you don't remember dreams, but that was one of the dreams that like I held on to. But yeah, so I said all that to say, with my journey with God, I've been really praying and talking to God, like, because I think it's a difference between praying and talking to God, and I don't want nobody to get nothing misunderstood, okay? This channel is not me giving advice. It is not me telling anyone what I think that they should do. It is solely me sharing my journey that I am on with myself of healing and growing and evolving, no, for sure, and my journey with getting closer to God and building that relationship with God. You take what you want to take and you do what you want to do with the information here, okay? But do not think I'm telling you this is like, do this and life is going to be a certain way, because I'm not. But anyways, and I just forgot what I was saying. See? Oh, let me pray real quick. Actually, I'm going to cut the prayer out. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I had to take a break real quick and I had to pray because I don't know. I just don't want to do anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. Like, I'm trying to be so big on that right now where it's like, I don't care if it's a conversation with a certain person. I don't care if it's going to a certain place. I am trying my hardest to be very present in the moment so I can always be aware of what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to just run on autopilot anymore. And I'm also trying to be big on, I don't want to do anything that God has not called me to do. I don't want to say anything that God has not called me to say. So I had to take a little breather, a little moment for prayer and gather myself together, because I don't want to word vomit on camera. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm going to read this because I have no clue why I'm reading this, but I'm just going to read this. It says, I speak to you. This is, okay, so the book is called Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence. And I've had this thing for literally a very long time. Like, I probably had this since my teenagers were little kids, and I could not tell you why I have it and where I got it from. I don't recall ever buying this. I probably did not buy this. I don't, if somebody gave it to me, I have no clue who it was. It just has always been around, right? And I went through this period where I'm like, I don't really believe in Jesus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know who that is and what y'all got going on with that, but that ain't for me, right? Like, I believe in God, but I don't believe in Jesus. But every time, like, you know, I like my books. I got my bookshelf over there. I like my books. I'm a big reader. And every time I would come across this, and I would be like, girl, just throw that away. You don't believe in Jesus. And I'd just be like, I don't think we should throw it away. Like, I just did not feel comfortable throwing it away. And then one day, I actually had this downstairs in a box because I didn't want it in my actual bookshelf because I'm like, Jesus, who? You know? So one day I think I was on like TikTok, like the book talk or Christian talk maybe. I don't remember what I was on. But I was on something on TikTok in a video, and she was reading a letter. So this is just a letter every single day of the year. And she was reading a letter out of this book, and I was like, I actually think I have that book. I think that's that one book about Jesus that I keep like not throwing away, but I don't want it either. My AirPod just dinged. I pray that this has been recording this whole time. But anyways, so I went down the basement and got it, and I just been reading it. But so it's called Jesus Calling. So here go me, just annoying. Ever since I've been reading it, I'll be like, I'm gonna just think like it's God, not Jesus, because I don't believe in Jesus. But you know, I was talking to God one day, like, look, God, I am not trying to be disrespectful. If that's your son, if that's your child, if that's what you said it is, and that's what it is, okay? I want to believe. Make me a believer, okay? And we done went through our things that I'm here, all right? Jesus is real, and Jesus is the Lord, and that is what it is, okay? For me, you do what you want to do. But anyways, the book is called Jesus is Calling, or Jesus Calling, and this is the letter for August 8th. It says, I speak to you from deepest heaven. You hear me in the depths of your being. Deep calls unto deep. You are blessed to hear me so directly. Never take this privilege for granted. The best response is a heart overflowing with gratitude. I am training you to cultivate a thankful mindset. This is like building your house on a firm rock, where life's storms cannot shake you. As you learn these lessons, you are to teach them to others. I will open up the way before you, one step at a time. So, I have been praying to God to guide me. Like, God, you know I'm single because you said I'm not ready for my husband yet, so you haven't sent him yet. So you need to provide and lead my household, right? And he's been doing his thing. Just know that whoever my husband is, baby, you're gonna have to really come, like, cause yeah, like what I'm getting over here, when I'm getting over here, how spoiled I am, you're gonna have to really come with it. But anyways, so I currently got a thing going on with this guy, right? And I'm just being honest. So when I tell you, everything in me, every time I'm around him, wants to jump this man's bones. And I'm like, Shine, I don't think we're supposed to be doing both. Like, I don't think we're supposed to be working on a journey with God, in a relationship with God, and be jumping this man's bones every time we see him. Keep in mind, this is not my man, okay? It's like my man, but it's not my man. It's one of those, right? So before this journey that I started with God, I never felt like that. I always felt like sex is sex, and I'm just a free spirit. If I want to have sex, I'm gonna have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it's always been. I ain't sucking no D, but I'm definitely gonna have some sex, all right? But it's crazy because I've never felt bad about that. Like, I've never felt like guilty about it, and now it's just like I can't do both. Like, I cannot be jumping bones and building my relationship with God. I just can't. I just cannot, and I will not. And I'm, have to end that. And that really makes me sad. But I'm working with God. He knows my heart, and, and yeah. So anyways, but the fact that I'm like, okay, so I kept going back and forth, like, am I overthinking this? Because I am an overthinker, right? But then I'm like, I wouldn't keep feeling bad about this. Like, I would literally be in the middle of a prayer, right? Like, talking, now I won't be praying, but I'll be like talking to God, like, God, listen, like, I really, I'm trying to follow your path. I'm trying to do the right thing. Like, I want you to speak to me and tell me what I need to be doing. What do you want me to do? I gotta be talking about YouTube. I could be talking about what do I need to be doing for money, sir? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, lead me to the dollar signs, right? And I kid you not, like, my brain just be like, you need to stop having sex. I'm like, we're not even talking about that. Why are you bringing that up? It's like in my head, I'm like, my subconscious is crazy. Like, you just mind your business. I'm talking to God right now. Like, you bringing up other perverted stuff right now. Like, going back to talking to God. Like, I'm still verbally, I'm still only focused on what I'm talking about with God, right? Like, when I'm asking him to show me my purpose, help me follow the path you have laid out for me, guide me, like, lead me, and I will submit and I will follow you. All these things. Every single time, my brain, my thoughts are, you need to stop having sex. You worried about this and you still out here having sex. I don't even know how you praying right now. I'm just like, sheesh, calm down. And when I say every single time, I'm not exaggerating. Every single time. Or if I'm thanking God, right? Like, I'm going through my gratitude list and I'm praying to God and I'm thanking him for this and I'm thanking him for that and I'm thanking him for the future blessings. Okay, I'm thanking him for the future blessings. Like, I'm about to win this Ghost Energy Jeep truck, and I'm thanking him every single day for this future blessing. I'm thanking him every single day for blessing my son with my Jetta. When I get my Jeep, I'm going to pass my Jetta down to my son. Boom, thoughts in my mind. You need to stop having sex. Like, you is in my business. So anyway, I said all that to say, it says, I speak to you from deepest heaven. You hear me in the depths of your being. Deep calls unto deep. You are blessed to hear me so directly. Never take this privilege for granted. So that was God. So God is telling me to stop having sex. Now keep in mind, I've already been feeling like, this letter is from today. Up until today, I've already been feeling like, did that be God or did that just be my subconscious? Like, I've literally prayed to God, like, how do I know when it's you and how do I know it's my subconscious? Like, God don't know. Like, girl, I know what you're doing, okay? You're trying to talk yourself out of the fact that I'm telling you to have sex. It's me, okay? It's me telling you, stop having sex, right? Like, I'm literally praying to God, like, give me a very specific, direct sign. You know how I am. You know how I am, okay? I will talk myself out of the answer. I will talk myself out of a sign. So be very specific and very direct so I know it's a sign. Like, so I cannot even question the fact that this is nothing but God, okay? Literally say those words. And he is saying, I speak to you from deepest heavens. You hear me in the depths of your being. You hear me, girl. That's me. Stop having sex. Can we just, and I already told God this, but can we just have a moment of silence for my sex life? I'm going to be obedient with this. But God knows I don't want to. I'm going to. But I don't want to. Okay? Anyways. And so another thing. So that was in my prayer life, right? I've been talking to God about certain things. I've been praying about certain things. Keep hearing God saying, stop having sex. Stop having sex. And then just randomly throughout the day, I will say be sexting or have a flashback of that, some moments. And then I will be like, you know you're not be doing that. You know you're not supposed to be doing that, right? We talked about this. And I'm just like, that gotta be myself. Because there's no way God is talking to me about sex, right? So, let's talk one more thing about the confirmation of, I know God's telling me not to have sex. Then yesterday, I'm on YouTube and I'm looking for like a sermon to watch or whatever. I don't remember what I was doing, but I'm looking for a sermon to play while I'm doing whatever I was doing. And one comes up about sex. And he was talking about how, we don't talk about it in the church. And Pastor Michael Todd, okay? I don't go to church, but I go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man right there? Yeah. But anyways, so I listened to that sermon and I'm like, all right, let me send my hey, I gotta fall back on you, and yeah, let me stop. Okay, so that was a confirmation for sex. I don't know how we got there, but then I have been called to do YouTube videos, and I'm just like, when I ask God to give me an answer, I know me and he knows me and we both know me. I'm going to talk. Let's go back to the YouTube thing. I do not want to do videos, but I feel like I'm supposed to do videos. I do not want to stop having sex, but I know for sure God is telling me stop having sex. I don't want to do YouTube videos, but I know for sure God is telling me do YouTube videos. And maybe it's not even YouTube videos, but content in general. Like, I don't know if my TikTok will be the answer or the YouTube, but it'll be all out there, so it really don't matter. But I know for sure God is telling me do videos, right? So again, when I pray and I'm asking for answers, I'm very specific with my prayers. Like, God, listen, you want me to do YouTube? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be making content? Am I supposed to be creating content? Right? Prayed about that. Again, asked, give me very specific sign, God, because you know I will talk my way out of it because I do not really want to do this. Very specific sign that said, yes, do the videos. I'm just like, all things I could. Can I go be a CNA? I mean, can I just be a CNA or a nurse? Because that's helping people, and that's a very good way to help people, I might add, and everybody else is doing it, and they're making decent livings off of that. So, I mean, but no, God was like, that's not for you, sis, that's for them. Don't worry about what they got going on. That's between me and them. And I'm like, you're right. But anyway, so yeah, he said, make videos. So I'm like, all right, well, again, I'm trying to procrastinate at this because I'm like, I really don't want to do this. So I'm like, well, if you want me to make videos, you're going to have to tell me exactly what to make videos about. How about that? Because I don't know what to do on social media, okay? They bullied me and they were mean to me, and clearly that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I need you to tell me what I'm supposed to be making videos about, right? So I've been kind of just waiting on that. And as you can see, my last video was like a while back. So like I've been getting answers, but it was like one of those, I don't really know if that's really what he want me to do. Like, let me get another confirmation. And then I get that confirmation. I'm like, let me just, to make sure that's really, let me just get another. And then the other day, my daughter comes home. My daughter's 5. My daughter comes home and says, I mean, with an attitude. She was like, you don't work. I was like, excuse me? And she was like, you don't work. You don't even have a job. And I was like, okay. And I don't. Okay, I don't. I get unemployment and I get YouTube checks. But my YouTube checks are nothing. They're butt. So I was like, dang. I was like, did y'all talk about jobs at work or something? I mean, at school? I'm like, did y'all talk about jobs at school or something? She's like, no. So I'm like, so why are you, mind you, I'm like literally walking her from the school to the car. And she is irritated with an attitude like, you don't work, you don't have a job, you're supposed to work. I'm just like, I am working. I do YouTube videos. She's like, you don't even do it. You don't even record. I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm working on working. She was like, you need to work. And I was like, all right. Get in the car, drive off. 10 minutes later, she's asleep. I'm like, oh, she just needed a nap. Clearly, I don't know what they talked about at school, but clearly she needed a nap. This morning, when I'm taking her to school, she ain't brought it up since. She ain't said nothing else about it since. The girl just came from my life and took her nap and went on about her life, right? Cool. Today is Monday. Today's not Monday. Today is Tuesday. Today's Tuesday? Damn, this week's going by fast. Anyways, this happened Friday or Thursday. Went on about her life. Whatever. Today, I take her to school. I dropped everybody else off. It was just me and her. I take her to school and she gonna say, and make sure you do some work today. Okay, I will. Make sure you do some work today too. But it's just like, okay, God, you want me to do a video or something? Anyways, I know I'm doing the most. But you know what? I prayed over this video and I told God to do his thing with me in this video, so this is what it is. So it says blah, not blah. Okay, so it says, never take this privilege for granted. The best response is a heart overflowing with gratitude. I am training you to cultivate a thankful mindset. This is like building your house on a firm rock where life's storms cannot shake you. As you learn these lessons, you are to teach them to others. I will open up the way before you one step at a time. So I've said all this. I've said all the things I've said, Because it says, as you learn these lessons, you are to teach them to others. I will open up the way before you one step at a time. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, some work and make a video about the lessons I've learned and teaching them to others. That's all I got. And if that's not what I'm supposed to make a video about, God, then we'll work on that. We'll have a conversation about that later. My AirPod keeps making the sound like it's connecting and disconnecting. So I pray that this video sound quality is not trash. Because if it is, there's nothing I can do about it. Because I'm not really that good at editing. So you're going to have to work with me on that one. But you know what? I was wondering, like, should I hook up a microphone instead of using my AirPods? So if it is trash, then that'll just be like God telling me, like, yeah, next time use a microphone. But anyways, there's like a gnat in this house and it's driving me nuts, and it keeps going back, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I'm really hoping not. I guess it wouldn't matter because I just brought it up anyways. So now you know I have a gnat in my house. But yes, so I don't know really what else to say now, but I'm hoping to be more consistent with making these videos. Again, it's really hard because I do not want to do social media anymore. If you know me or if you follow any of my platforms, then you've realized I am completely off of everything. I'm going to have to get back on TikTok now to post content, but I'm not looking forward to it, okay? Well, you know, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I was going to lie, but I'm not looking forward to it. But I am hoping now that I am close to God or closer to God, and I am really trusting in Him to guide me through life, regardless if that's social media, if that's relationships, my parenthood, regardless of where it's at. Like, I'm really trusting Him to just guide me and lead me, and I'm gonna just follow that out. And if it don't work, it's whatever. I'm learning, my biggest things I'm learning right now is trusting and accepting. Like, I know God has my day already for me, right? If you know me, you know I am a planner. I'm a routine person. I have been over here going crazy trying to make a routine and a plan. Like, okay, like God wants me to do this every single day, so I'm gonna do it like this, I'm gonna do it like this. And it has not been going that way at all whatsoever. Every time I think, like, oh, okay, cool, I've been doing good with getting up at a certain time and doing this, and then it stops going good. I'm just like, so I don't know, but I'm learning to accept. I won't even make it seem like I'm all the way accepted, because I have not, actually. As a control freak, it is very hard for me, if I'm being honest, to accept God handling everything, and I'm just going with the flow. I'm not really a go with the flow type of gal. So this has been tough. This has been tough for me. Oh, but I started therapy Thursday, so I'm hoping that helps with things. But yeah, so I'm learning to accept the fact that I know God has my day planned, right? Like, it doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't even matter, because God already said this is what it's going to be. I understand you want that, but with all due respect, I don't care. I have a better plan. So this is what we're doing. And I always have to humble myself and remind myself the same way God has my best interest. So I think like that about my children. So like my oldest especially, the boy thinks he knows everything. It drives me nuts. You know what drives me nuts the most about him? If you know us, we are really, really tight, right? But Lord, we butt heads so much because we are the same exact person. The boy thinks he knows everything, but I also think I know everything. So I get it, but it's annoying, okay? So what drives me nuts the most about him is, like, we'll be going back and forth about something, and I just get it, like, okay, you got it. Like, I get to that point, like, okay, you got it. So I'm just like, all right. Or I just look at him and don't say nothing. He'll be like, exactly. Or he'll be like, right. What makes you feel like it's just annoying? Like, just because I give up with on the conversation because I could see that no matter what I say, like, you're focused more on being right than whatever. I just let it go. And then he thinks he's right about something. I feel like that's probably how God has been with me for all my life until this point. Probably still sometimes now. Where it's just like, I'm trying to tell you stuff and you're not listening. Like, you know, sometimes you could talk to God so much and pray so much and you forget the part where you're supposed to like sit in his presence and just be still and meditate on what you prayed on and meditate on his word so you can get a response. Like, remember I said I talk too much, right? Sometimes you talk so much that you can't even hear God if he wasn't talking back. Like, God could be speaking like, oh God, I've been praying for this and I've been asking for this and and I'm getting nothing. I'm always praying. I'm always like, somebody can be like, did you talk to God about it? Yeah, I'm always talking to God about it. We need to start saying, did you hear from God about it? Did you listen for God about it? Like, because that's the problem. The problem is not necessarily always us going to God. The problem is us listening to God or giving space to hear God. Okay? And I want to say this. If you're a person like myself who talks too much, then sometimes you may want to realize that God may be talking to you through other people. Like, if God, like, you ain't never going to be silent. You're never going to meditate on my word. I'm going to say never, but you're not being silent. You're not sitting in the presence of me. You're not meditating on my word. So I'm not going to be able to talk to you that way. So I'm going to have to talk to you another way because God's going to talk to you regardless. Like, so it's like, for me, it's like, I feel like a lot of times God has been talking to me through my children, which is why my 5-year-old telling me to go to work is a big deal, because I always feel like God's going to use them kids to talk to me. But yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that, but keep that in mind though. When you do pray and when you are talking to God about things or asking God about things or for things, keep in mind the listening part of a conversation. I just heard in the sermon, he was like, a prayer is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. Like, a monologue is just when you're the only one, but a dialogue is a back and forth. And I was just like, yeah, never thought about that. Like, I never thought about that. But yeah, so it's like you have to talk to God, but also allow him to talk back to be able to hear him. Like, we're always talking about, I don't ever hear God, or God doesn't speak to me, or I don't, whatever the case may be. But it's like, are you listening for God? You know what I'm saying? But I don't remember what I was talking about before. I'm not going to stop the video to go back to find out, so I'm just going to let it go. I pray that these videos get better moving forward. Okay, but this is what I got. But yeah, I'm realizing she grows. She gets really obsessed with self being me being a product of God, a creation of God, made in the image of God. So I cannot really get an understanding of me without building a relationship with my creator. You know what I mean? It's almost like in the flesh world, like, to get an understanding of why when you have a child or you're pregnant, you go to the doctor, they ask you about family history. And a lot of times, for me at least, it sucks because I'm like, I don't really freaking know my family history. But it's kind of like that. Like, we're going to try to look out for certain things with your baby or your pregnancy based on family history. So it would be great to have knowing and understanding of who you are and where you come from and the people you come from. To get an understanding of who I am and who I'm designed to be, it only makes sense to get closer to my creator. Like, it only makes sense to build a relationship to the one who created me in his design, in his image, with his like, what's the word I'm looking for? With his wants and needs already placed in me. Like, when he created me, he knew, like, this is what I need you to do in this world. So now I need you to go do it. So it makes sense for me to get close and build a relationship with God, okay? I don't know. I probably could have said that better, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, so she grows. She gets really obsessed with self. Definitely became, for me, more of me growing with God and me getting closer to God and building that relationship. Because I don't want to just know about God. I want to know God. All right. And for anybody who's big on the Bible and who knows the Bible, can you help your girl out? Because I'm really trying with the Bible. I'm on Leviticus. And woo, it's rough. All right. I'm trying though. But I'm wondering, like, do I have to read it front to back? Because it's like I'm watching all these sermons. I read a lot of books. I said a lot of books. I got like 2 books written by pastors. But like reading the books though and watching the sermon, when they reference certain scriptures, I'm like, dang, I can't wait to get to that point in the Bible. Like I can't wait to feel like when I open the Bible and I read it for the day that I'm getting a message. Today though, I did just randomly flip and then open up a scripture and it literally came to Jonah. And I thought, I'm still thinking, I don't know for sure, that maybe I should just read the whole book of Jonah, even though like I'm on Leviticus and that's like Jonah's like at the end. I don't care because I was reading it, and mind you, I don't know this story. I mean, I heard when I got to reading it, it's like the boy who, so basically so I'm reading it, and it was God was telling him to go to somewhere. I don't remember the town name, but he was telling him to go to a town. And Jonah was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm about to go over here and I'm about to hide from God. And when he went to where he wanted to go, he got into some stuff in the sea. Like, I don't know if it was like a storm. I can't remember if it was like something happened though, right? The sea was angry. The sea was angry with him though. That's what I do know. And the men he was on a boat with, it was like, what did you do? What we know is you. What did you do? God, get him. He right here. And so I think he told them to like just throw me into. I don't remember what he told them. He told them to give him back to the sea though. So they threw him into the sea or something like that. And God had a whale swallow him. And he kept them in the whale's mouth alive until he asked God for forgiveness and was like, okay, I'm gonna listen. All right, I'll do what you want me to do. Cool. Dang. And let him out the whale's mouth, and he went on by his business. But you know what I liked about this one? I haven't finished it. I only read what was on that page. And so that was it. Like I just read up into the part where he got out the whale's mouth and he went on to the town that God originally told him to go to. But you know what I did like about that story, and what I took from the story? I enjoy the fact that now I know that God can say, hey, this is what I need you to do, or this is your purpose, this is the plan I have for you. And you could be like, I ain't doing that. I don't care. I'm not doing that. For whatever reason, I'm not doing it. I'm going to go do this. And I'm like, all right, watch what happens. And some stuff happened, and then you got to go running back to God like, all right. I'm sorry. Please get me out of this situation. And I will listen. Just get me out the situation, God. You get me out the situation, I'm going to go ahead and do what you told me to do in the first place. I apologize. My bad. God said, that's what I thought. Get you about the situation. Like I said, go on to this town and do X, Y, Z. Like, I like the fact that I know now for sure that even if I am not obedient, that God will still show me mercy, get me out of a sticky situation, and still have a purpose still. Like, the purpose doesn't go away because I didn't listen. Like, the purpose is always going to be there. You can choose when you want to follow the purpose, and you can choose the path that you want to take, but I promise you, boo-boo, you're going to come back to this purpose. Like, I promise you. I seen a podcast, know for sure. Lady London, I think her name was on there, and she says something. I don't know the exact quote, but she basically was like, whatever you do outside of God's purpose for you, you're gonna have to stay, or out of God's will. Whatever you do outside of God's will for you, you're gonna have to stay outside of God's will to keep up with it. God is never going to fix that or make it go the way you want it to go, because that's out of God's will. So if you want to be over here with God, then you're going to have to be over here with God. Like, you can't be over here with God, but you got this going on over here that's outside of what God has called for you. But yeah, it made me feel good to know that no matter if you were not obedient when God told you the plan and your purpose, it called you to do something or gave you an answer, whatever the case may be, if you wasn't obedient, it makes me feel good to know that you can still go to God and you can still ask God to help you get out of a situation, and he will do that. And then still say, I still have your purpose right here though. Like I held on to your purpose, let you do what you wanted to do. You dealt with your consequences, okay, come back. Like it really is crazy to me. Like it really is like parenthood. Like, you know, the story of Jonah, point was, I opened the Bible randomly. That was the story I got. And that felt good. Like, even if this, like I went away from not doing the videos and all that, because I just don't want to do this. But I was over here struggling. Like when I was doing videos, now when I was content creating, as far as like financially and everything was good. I just feel like I didn't have the right mindset to be ready for that. And it might even be that. It could have also been the content I was making wasn't. Like God was like, yeah, I told you to do videos. I wanted you to be in communication with people, but that's not what I meant by that. So it could have also been that too though. But either way, here we are. I feel like the purpose didn't change just because I wasn't obedient. You know what I'm saying? Like the purpose didn't change just because I strayed away. He didn't take my purpose away from me. He just held on to it until I made my way on back to him. So yeah, that's all I got. I think I'm done. I'm gonna just stop talking now. All right. So I wish I had like a cute little closing thing to say when I was done with the video, because that's why I'm keep talking, because I don't know how to end the effing video. The Know For Sure podcast, which is my favorite podcast, by the way, they have a cute closing. I'm not going to steal theirs, though, but I'm just saying. That's why I said that. But, yeah, she grows. I'm out. I'm done. We're wrapping this up now. I don't care. I'm looking at the time like, girl, you've been talking for an hour, technically to yourself. But anyways, she grows. She gets really obsessed with self. Self being me, myself, and I. No, I don't like that. She grows. She gets really obsessed with self. I'm trying to figure out an outing and I can't. So, so I'm just going to leave it at that. If you watched this all the way to this point, I thank you so much. I appreciate your support and more to come. Peace out. Love ya for loving me. That was lame. Okay, I'm just going to go now. Goodbye.